All right, so I have something that I think will be a lot of fun to just like look at and explore. I was thinking about something last night, and I'm going to explore this by just using the example of a family, right? A family that would be considered dysfunctional and psychosomatic, meaning that it's got a chaotic environment, right? Um, and there are different things within that chaotic environment that traumatize at least one of the persons or one of the people, right? So, I've really been looking at myself, right? And I've been looking at my own insecurities. I've been looking at the things that have traumatized me, the things that have fucked me up, right? The things that have really kind of like shaped me in ways that, I accept, of course. I am healing from and everything, but I look at this and example A, right? The psychosomatic family that is dysfunctional, right? Children in that system, in that family system, they're going to be traumatized, right? If fully grown, conscious adults, I know that this might sound just like out of this world. If fully grown, conscious adults entered that system, the impact of trauma would not be the same because they're adults. They're fully conscious and they're aware of themselves. They have enough of a degree of awareness, let's say self-awareness at least at this point, to be able to differentiate, right? Boundaries are there, right? What blows my fucking mind to a very large degree is this. Everything that traumatizes a child in childhood has literally fucking nothing to do with the child. However, as the child grows and those same patterns are repeated and reinstated and continued to be installed and updated and re-updated, right? Further hardwiring of the same beliefs take place, right? That child has a lack of something very crucial that the conscious adult does have. The child lacks something very crucial that the conscious adult has. And that is self-awareness. That is healthy and concrete boundaries, right? So what's going to happen to the child is what happens to every child that's traumatized. The shit that traumatizes them gets taken personally. They internalize it. The shame, the guilt, the anger, everything, right? But the interesting thing is, the insecurity that the child turned adult carries around later on in life doesn't belong to that person. I mean, this is why this is going to be really challenging to explore. It's not that it doesn't belong to that person, but it's more so like when you can look at it for what it is, right? Hey, mom and dad, you fucked me up. You may not have intended to, but you fucked me up. Listen, all of the shit is in a box right here. Yeah, take it the fuck back. All the shame, all the guilt, everything, take it the fuck back. A child can't do that because they don't even know what the fuck is going on, right? But a conscious adult can, which is exactly why an adult can't step into a system like that and be traumatized by it. Because it has the boundaries in place and it's like, oh, yeah, that's all your shit. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, right? So, the interesting thing about this is that children get traumatized oftentimes by their parents' projections, displacements, all of that stuff, sublimation, right? Even a parent can traumatize a child through sublimation, because a parent is in pain, and so therefore they utilize the child as a channel to sublimate their pain, and then they give them their pain, and then it traumatizes the child, and then they probably learn an inherent belief that not only are they defective, but also it can turn into some type of like sadomasochistic shit, right? They can end up believing that they deserve to be hurt, right? People actually form a belief that they deserve to be hurt, right? And this is one of the reasons why I don't believe in hitting, physical abuse. No, it's not okay at all. But like, I look at it from, I don't even know what viewpoint this is that I'm looking at it from. I'm looking at it from a real fucking far, right? And what I'm seeing is very simple. This might just be me, but I'm going to explore something that I think is kind of deep and pretty important to look at. What children end up carrying around later on in life is what it is that actually confused them earlier on in life, right? The only reason that a child gets traumatized is because they're innocent. They don't know what the fuck is going on. You can't do that to an adult unless an adult is like absurdly unself-aware, lacks a serious amount of self-awareness. You can't do that to an adult. You cannot, right? And so I look at it, right? And I look at the person who is healing from all of the trauma that fucked them up early on in childhood, right? I look at that. And I think to myself, I'm like, this person can actually, to a very large extent, liberate themselves if they realize that the insecurity, the shame, and the guilt that they carry around has fucking nothing to do with them. It's not theirs. It's that whole matter of trauma is kind of like a gift, right? When someone gives you something, you don't have to accept it. You can give it back to them. No, that's your shit, not mine. There's that saying again. That's your shit, not mine. And so I was really sitting with this, and I was like, whatever insecurity I feel is not authentic to me. It's not mine. I may have worn it for a long fucking time and worn and felt the shame and the guilt and all of that stuff and the fear and the depression, the anxiety. None of that shit has ever been mine. It's felt like mine because I got very used to wearing it and carrying it around, but that shit came from somebody else. I opened my box right up and put it right in there because with a lack of awareness, I was like, Chris, oh shit, that's mine. In the box. Not mine. Insecurity is not mine. I can feel it. Doesn't mean it's mine, though. That shit was planted in me by somebody else. Right? And so I look at all this stuff from afar, and I'm like, none of it's mine. None of it's mine. Like, it's crazy. It's completely crazy. Like, and so then I look at it, right? And I look at everything, and I'm like, I've been carrying around all of this weight for so long that I never needed to, simply because I was confused, right? When you are a fully grown, conscious adult with a very good amount of self-awareness and healthy boundaries, you can't get confused like that because you've got this entire hardware structure of hardwiring from everything that you learned about yourself. You can't be confused. When you're a child, you can, because you're like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. So then as an adult, when you can see it for what it is and realize like, oh shit, my parents just gave me their shit. Oh shit, all these people in my life just gave me their shit. None of it was ever mine. I can let go of whatever it is that's not me and that's not mine and that is not of authenticity to me. This, by the way, is where boundaries come into play. Children try to set boundaries. A lot of parents rip children the fuck out of the healthy boundaries that they're trying to set. And then healthy parents teach their kids boundaries and they don't expose them to shit that is not age appropriate, right? But this is the only reason, I think at least, why children end up getting so fucked by trauma, is because they get confused because they don't have self-awareness. They're relying on the people in their environment to guide them, right? And when you're raised in an environment that is dysfunctional, that is not healthy, that is psychosomatic, that's fucking chaotic, you learn all that shit, right? And all of the shame, all the guilt from a lack of boundaries or permeable boundaries gets transferred onto you. And then you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with this shit. And then you just confuse all of it for yours. And it's not yours. And it's so cool to see this for what it is and be like, oh shit, I don't have to be insecure. It's a fucking choice. I don't have to choose chaos. It's a fucking choice. It's a pattern that I am just choosing to repeat. And I am choosing it because I'm not choosing the other thing. It is fucking wild.